I'm Myke Shrews,
And I'm Tivis.
and you're listening to
The Munster Cast.
episode 91. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to the Munster Cast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters. I'm, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend Tivis. So, Tivis, please tell everybody out in the Munsterverse how you doing.
Oh, I'm doing fine this morning. Tomorrow's going to be a pain, though.
What you got tomorrow?
Oh, no. Just my sister and nephew's coming into town, and then later tonight, my wife wants to take me to a Taylor Swift party downtown. So I will be up late again.
I got nothing. I don't know.
Yeah.
My wife isn't into going to those kinds of things. Well, maybe she is. She just doesn't do it. No follow through, right? That's awesome, though.
It's whatever.
I mean, at least you guys get to go out and do stuff and have some fun, man. That's the important part. No matter what it is, whether you like to do that or not, at least you guys still get to go out and do it.
Yeah.
Fun. Just wait till you have 20 kids running around.
No.
Sitcoms make it look so easy.
No, our limit is 2 at most, and then that's gonna be stopped. Just gotta be fun for me.
I got another buddy who's trying to have kids, and I keep telling him it's gonna be like twins or triplets the first time around.
Good, one and done.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you're not getting any younger, so you might as well knock them all out at once. Oh, there are bugs flying around here for some reason.
Because you're in Florida.
Florida in the summertime.
Yeah,
awesome, guys.
Anyway, got any lizards in there?
I pulled one off of my wife last night, and not in the house. We were on the patio, but still. Let's dive into the dirty business, shall we, guys? Real quick, you can find the Munster Cast on all social media platforms. That is Facebook and Instagram via the Munster Cast, and anywhere else. I'm sure you can just type in the Munster Cast, and we should pop up if we're there. You can also see our pretty ugly faces every Munster Monday, except for the ones we take off, at youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. That is youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. There's also, guys, I want to point out, if you are watching us on YouTube or just listening, and you want to see some other Munster content or Munster related stuff, definitely check out the YouTube channel, because there is a playlist or something on our channel that is like random videos. It's not the show that we do here, so definitely check that out for sure. All right, what else we got, Tivis? You can also swing on over to TheMunsterCast.com. That is TheMunsterCast.com, guys, and over there is all of our content in one place: audio, video, vlogs, blogs, whatever. There's also a tab up top for the specific Munsters Today show. In there, it tells you a little bit about the Munsters Today, and then there's also tabs for the different seasons of the Munsters. As we go through them, there's going to be pictures and stuff posted on there as well. That way, there's some outlet for the Munsters Today photos, because I am realizing that when I go Google pictures for the Munsters Today, we just get taken back to our website anyways. So at least there's a source out there for you guys with more photos than just the generic few. Because there's like one photo out there, dude, that pops up of Lily, and it makes her look way different than what she actually is in the show. So I don't know what the heck is up with that one. Also, guys, when you're there, you can click over into the store tab or go to TheMunsterCast.com/merch and pick up an awesome Munsters t-shirt. There are Munster Cast branded ones with our logo with Herman or Lily, and then there are other Munsters shirts there as well, guys, that you can pick up for yourselves. just to wear around town without even having the sport our logo on them. So definitely check that out. They're curated for you guys, Munster fans out there and fans of the podcast. So definitely check that out for sure, guys. Also, when you're at the website, if you want to, you can click on the right hand side of the screen. There's a little microphone icon, and then you can go there, leave us a voice message. We'll get it, we'll hear it. If you want us to play it on the podcast, let us know that it's okay to play it on the podcast. We'll play it on the next recording of the episode after we get your message, guys. Also, you can do the same thing as well if you want, or just write us and tell us some stories and stuff at TheMunsterCast at Outlook.com, guys. Definitely take advantage of this. It's one of the fastest ways to get a hold of myself or Tivis. You can also do it through social media as well. We do get voice messages and stuff through Instagram messages and stuff like that as well. So definitely take advantage of the email. You can send us all of the fun stuff out there that you guys want, Munster related, fanfics, all that fun crap, dude. Yeah, definitely do that for sure. What else we got, Tivis?
We have a Patreon. And if you haven't heard by now with 91 episodes, it's our tip. Honestly, if you're jumping in at episode 91, I have to question your sanity. But
I mean, there are lots of people that have done that. I've done that with podcasts where I've jumped into like episode 200 or something before.
Of a rewatch show?
Not of a
Well,
rewatch show
yeah,
necessarily.
exactly.
Yeah.
You are some kind of stranger, but we are happy to have you here. Uh, yeah, Patreon, send us a tip. Obviously, everything that people can, whatever falls out of your pocket, you can contribute to us if you can. Times are tough. We know that the
Yeah.
global economy sucks, but it helps keep the lights on. It helps us keep all this cool stuff that we are able to do with the video podcast. And you also get access to our Discord where you can chat with us and other fans directly, as well as gain access to the Munsters Today episodes that we are able to post there because you can't take them. We're not distributing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Universal. But more importantly than any of that, leaving a review on any podcatcher that you're able to, commenting on the YouTube, talking to us on social medias, leaving us a star rating. All that stuff helps the show way more. I was actually just looking at our new reviews, well, at least new to me. I haven't read in a while. It's cool to hear from you guys.
Oh
We
yeah.
really do appreciate it. And spreading the word of the show around, it helps us gain new ears and new people to the Munsters, growing
Yeah.
collective. Because we know the fans are out there. They just are more scattered than a lot of other fandoms.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, it's always a good thing to help grow different fandoms, whether you necessarily, I don't know, agree with all the fandom stuff out there, because there's gatekeepers and all that random crap too,
And
which
no,
is
don't do
weird.
that.
But
Like what you like and let other people enjoy what they do. Don't be a dick.
yeah. Um, Also, you guys can swing on over to themunstercast.com/sticker mule 10, get a $10 credit there. We do get a $10 credit as well on our account, but definitely take advantage of that, guys. They offer awesome stickers and stuff. You can always go over to the Myke Shrews YouTube channel and check out my review of some of their stickers from a few years back. Definitely take advantage of them. That is themunstercast.com/sticker mule and then 10. All right. And also there is one other thing, guys, I need to talk about real quick. I did something, and now you can book a Myke Shrews cameo at cameo.com/Myke Shrews. That is MYKESHREWS. Cameo.com/Myke Shrews. That way you
And
guys
he
can
will
get
say
me.
anything, so you can make him say something to be cancelable, post it, and everyone will believe it because it's just him in his office and it can look like he's did it from the show.
Like, I don't say things that are cancelable anyways. So, like, what? That means nothing to me.
Hashtag cancel Mike. No, I'm kidding.
Do you want me to promote you on your political run? Cameo me today.
See, I can't do that because mine would just be fuck you. Refund.
I will
Yeah.
do anything. No, definitely do take
I
advantage of that,
won't
guys.
do that.
I'm not sure how long I will keep the cameo up, but I'm gonna try it out for a few, see if I enjoy it or not. So yeah,
Mhm.
definitely, guys. I know it's most likely gonna be probably like my family at first, making me say stupid shit for them.
Oh, if you think I won't take advantage of this, you'd be mistaken.
It'd be like, hey, remember that argument we had when we were kids, and then like you got me in trouble for saying this? How about you tell mom and dad that I said
that'd be clever.
right? All right, guys. What are we diving into today, Tivis?
We are talking about Pants on Fire, the season 2, episode 14, or
Ooh.
109th overall with both shows combined. Again, no one has corrected me on my math, so I'm going to pretty much assume that I'm correct as always. It aired. I love how Myke is just radio silent at that. Saturday, February 10th in
We only got
1990. So this would be our Valentine's Day episode if there was one that year.
we only have 10 episodes left of this season.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
So crazy.
This was written by Andrew Borokoff, which, if you recognize that, that's because he did The Melting Pot, and this is his second of 8. Directed by Peter Isaacson. You should be pretty familiar with that because his run is nearly done. This is his 12th of 13th. We last saw him with Jack the Ripper, and we will see him one final time late season 3. We had one guest to this episode, and it was awesome. We got Graham Jarvis as Mr. Graves. That's right. The second partner of Goodberry, Graves, and whatever the third one is, I forget. You're supposed to help me out, Myke.
What?
What's the third partner? Gateman, Goodberry, and Graves. How did I forget Gateman? Oh
I
my
don't know how
God.
you
He's the
forgot
only
that.
other one that appeared on this show.
He's the main one that ever appeared on the show, like the original series.
How did I jump? Okay, I went to the I wonder if we're going to see Goodberry before the show ends. I don't know. Anyway, this Graham has 141 acting credits. This guy's career is stacked. His first listed credit is in Guiding Light as Charles Eiler. I don't know. He was then a music teacher in the 1969 Allison's Restaurant, which is a favorite of my father-in-law. He loves watching that every Thanksgiving. He was on an episode of MASH, Gunsmoke, Sanford and Son, which is why I'm assuming Myke was singing the song earlier today. Am I right?
No, I didn't look up that.
Oh, really? That was just a strange coincidence. Okay. He was in 325 episodes of Mary Hartman as Charlie Haggers, which went from 76 to 77. It was a Monday through Friday show for 2 seasons set in Fernwood, Ohio. This has to be a soap opera, right?
I would assume.
I'm going to read you the synopsis to the first episode.
Okay.
All right. Lorietta delivers word that a neighborhood family was murdered. Mary and Tom have a disagreement about making love. Charlie announces he almost has enough money to get Lorietta's record demo made, and the Fernwood Flasher is finally captured.
What the?
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't pass that up. That's an insane first episode.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Going back to Graham, he was in an episode of The Love Boat and then did 130 episodes of Forever Fernwood, again as Charlie Hager, which ran from 77 to 78. And this is a sequel to Mary Hartman. Then he went on to do 2 episodes of Starsky and Hutch, 4 episodes of Blind Ambition. He was in Mr. Mom as Howard Humphreys. He did 39 episodes of Fame, as Bob Dyrenforth from 86 to 87. He was in the season 5, episode 7 of Next Generation Unification 1. So another Star Trek reference. It's been a while. And some other ones that stuck out to me. He was in X-Files, Drew Carey Show, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show, Home Improvement, and 16 episodes of Seventh Heaven as Charles Jackson. This guy has had a career.
You just keep naming shows that I want to watch for podcasts.
I know.
Like X-Files, Home Improvement, Star Trek. I don't think I would want to do a Star Trek one, though. There's probably so many out there.
Yeah. So, do what you like.
I do, but she's
yeah.
sleeping, so.
Yeah, that is Graham Jarvis. If you
Tivis
recognize him,
ignores
there's
me all the
probably
time,
a
people.
good reason.
Tivis doesn't like me. He ignores me.
Depends on my mood.
He deletes my comments too, guys.
Stop leaving sexual innuendos.
Stop setting them up.
I didn't. You just said it.
Oh, all right.
This is our friendship behind the scenes, people.
You just don't want them on social media where your family can see them.
I can control them there.
All right.
Text messages, whatever.
Is it synopsis time, bro?
It is synopsis time.
It's synopsis time. Synopsis time.
Are you gonna create like a special intro for synopsis time? Is that too much work?
Don't set the fans up, man, making them think they're gonna get something they probably won't get.
If you want him to do that, let us know.
Cameo it.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, then we'll just splice it in.
All right.
Oh shit, that's gonna cost me money, isn't it?
Synopsis time. I'm not gonna try and sing that shit. All right. This week on the Munsters Today episode Pants on Fire aired February 10th, 1990, as Tivis previously stated.
I did.
I think you did. I don't know.
I did.
We'll find out. All right.
That wasn't a question.
Dun 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 dun. Synopsis time. On this episode of The Munsters Today, everyone is lying around while Lily goes into her mid-30s mother cleaning craze. While Lily heads into a manic cleaning spree, the rest of the family dives into side quests created by that of a drunken DM. Eddie must grapple with dissecting a crustacean while keeping quiet in the library. Marilyn comforts her manic depressive friend, resulting in a date with stitches. Herman injures his back, resulting in a lying down day off of work before catching a foul ball. And during all of this, Mr. Graves, a married man, lies his way to a power lunch at a Munster Manor. Can Grandpa clean his lab, or will he break his silence and finally not lie? Will Lily become the Mary Poppins of the Munsterverse, or will she inadvertently turn into the family's very own Nixon? Can the Munsters come together in honesty, or will they spiral into a tangled web of lies in a liar Jim Carrey tale of overacting and convoluted stories? Will the great Charles Dracula make a surprise cameo? And will chaos ensue? Find out this week on The Munsters Today. Dun 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 dun.
That was wild.
I hope I woke everyone up in my house.
It's only almost 6 a.m.
My
All
wife
right.
is asleep like right about here.
So you're saying if there was going to be a day where a fist just comes off screen at you, it'd be today.
Okay.
I'm
Are you
telling
ready
you,
for this?
I'm gonna keep hoping it happens before we end the show. I was just saying, how much is that gonna cost me on Cameo? Okay. Yeah, all right, let's jump into this.
All right.
We open with Grandpa coming in with the newspaper as he says good morning to Eddie, who is just sitting on the stairs. And I
Moping
realized
around.
we haven't seen Spot in a while.
We haven't seen Spot in this whole season.
I feel like he's had one appearance at least.
In this season?
Yeah. Maybe early on.
Yeah, if you count the little doggy that runs out from the stairs as Spot when Herman goes into the other dimension. The It's a Wonderful Afterlife episode.
Yeah. That's weird. All right. Eddie
I
goes,
don't think we saw. I don't think we saw actual Spot in that episode. I don't recall.
I don't recall either.
I just remember
Why
the
are they
doggy
doing this
running
to
out.
us? Give us Spot.
Like you see his collar and everything on the stairs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Eddie is like, it's more like a bad morning. What's so bad about it? The Berlin Wall is crumbling, the stock market's up, and someone named Yah is on parole. I could not find any information on who that person is. Myke, did you?
No.
All right. If any of our listeners know, probably Frank, let us know. We more than appreciate all the trivia stuff that you provide, dude. But it is not good for Eddie. The Mockingbird Mets are playing for the championship, and his best friend gave him a ticket. And Grandpa is either getting old or he missed something. A, you love baseball. B, you got invited to the big game. C, you're depressed. A and B do not lead to C, kid. But Eddie goes, you forgot M.
For Mom.
Yeah. Lily is on her annual cleaning kick, which is something I feel like every family does. We're about to hit ours here soon. Just deep clean the entire house.
I feel it's like one of those things, at least when I was younger, it was one of those things that my mom would pop up with every so often when she hit her 30s. Well, not hit her 30s, but in her 30s. Randomly, it would just be like, oh, we gotta clean everything. No one's coming over or nothing. And half the time they never gave a shit. Like I was the only one who cleaned my room and all that stuff without being told to and all that.
I hated cleaning my room.
I was the cleanest one. Like so when everyone would leave for the day, including my brothers and shit, I would put my rollerblades on, grab a broom, and just rollerblade around the house, sweeping everything into one big pile. When they get home, I told them to get their crap or I'm throwing it away. Mind you, I was a kid. and
So
I
you
wasn't
were
just
prepared to be a parent.
I wasn't just talking about like my brother's stuff. Like my parents' stuff was in this pile too.
Yeah. See, my mom and stepdad always told me to clean my room when company was coming. I'm like, why? They're not gonna step foot in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's on the second floor. They're not walking upstairs.
I don't want dirty clothes laying on my floors. Just keep your shit clean. Like if you keep it clean, you don't have to spend days cleaning it. Let's be fair. As Tivis looks in his background.
Ignore that. Yeah.
Look, it's the easiest way to do it. You maintain it, and then you don't have to spend hours doing it a week or whatever, or get grounded because you didn't clean up your clothes. Put them in the dresser. They just go in the dresser, kids. Just put your clothes in the damn dresser. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science. Fold them, roll them up, just crumble them up and throw them in there. I don't care. I don't want them in sight. Sorry.
I have one drawer out of our dresser, and there are 6 plus
Wait,
the closet. She has everything else, and
y'all
still
share a
has a
dresser?
basket on the floor. I get one drawer.
What?
Yep.
Look,
The rest of my clothes are in a
she
basket,
listens to
and
too
she's
much
got
Taylor
3 other
Swift, dude.
baskets.
She needs to give you at least half the dresser.
I did have half, and then she slowly took it.
Oh man.
Yeah, if I need to get her to a donation. Yeah.
We'll just get
Yeah,
another
anyway,
dresser.
there's no room. We have 2.
So we have her dresser, my dresser.
Wait, that means we got 6 drawers because we have 2, both with 3 apiece.
Oh, is it like one of the standing dressers?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we have like 2 dressers and then whatever our TV stand is in our bedroom, which has 4 drawers in it. She took that over. She has her dresser filled, and then she has taken one of my drawers from my dresser, and it's
Okay,
annoying.
no, there's only 8. That sucks. What the
And she has half the closet.
She has the entire closet.
Well, I won't do that. I'm not gonna give her the entire closet. She doesn't need that many freaking clothes.
I thought it was getting them off of our floor. No, we still have 2 constant baskets of her clothes, and one I have to empty for laundry every week.
She has tried to take over our entire closet because most of my side of the closet are graphic tees that I steam and keep the wrinkles out of them. She's like, "Why do you don't need to hang those?" I was like, "Listen, I don't want to go out in public all wrinkly. Like, leave me alone."
Yeah, I don't care. My shirt's all whatever.
I have to steam them, man. I have to. It makes me feel better about myself. Plus, then when there's no wrinkles, the shirt it sits on you better. I feel because their fabric
I don't
isn't
want it to sit
bulging
on
up
me
and different
better.
stuff.
I have enough showing as is.
But anyways, my point was, I feel like when women they're in their kind of 30s, they kind of do this cleaning thing. Same with like the whole we must eat healthier type craze. I know my mom went through it. My wife's going through it every so often. It like pops back in now. So it's just something I've noticed with the women in my life, I should say, anyways. My grandma
Yeah, we
didn't give
haven't
a
had
shit.
that yet. I mean, there's been talk about me eating healthier, and I'm somewhat
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah.
Mostly because my blood work came back and it's scary to look at. But anyway,
Get that shit taken care of, dude.
getting old is scary.
Right. Speaking of old, Grandpa, what is Grandpa saying?
Oh yeah, so Eddie's being forced to stay home and help. So Grandpa suggests hiding the cleaning supplies, and Eddie says nothing stops her. If
Which is
he broke
interesting that
both
they
of
want to clean because usually in the original series, she used the vacuum to
it was a
dust
reverse vacuum.
to blow dust everywhere. She would put
Which-
trash in the trash cans and stuff like that. In
Yeah.
this one, she actually wants to clean, but I'm like, you could start with getting rid of all the cobwebs, maybe. I'm just saying, I don't know, maybe it would help. But yeah, I think Lily's definition in this one is more so tidy up than clean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she did. Well, we'll get to that here in a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Eddie goes, if he broke both of his ankles, she'd put mops on his crutches and so he could help while hobbling around the place. And Grandpa tells him, look, you just need a good excuse, a little restructuring of reality, if you will. You might have to just let the truth relax a bit, you know?
Yeah.
There must be something important that's time consuming that he could do outside the house. And Eddie's like, you know, I'm supposed to help a friend build a skateboard ramp. And Grandpa's like, okay, you're on the right track, but think of something that'll actually work. Well, I got a biology report in 6 months. Great. That'll get you out of the corn harvest next October. And I'm like, does the school assign summer papers? Like, what the what? That's
Yeah, 6
horrible.
months. It's like he's already in biology, isn't he? This year, he was in biology
you
class
do multiple
already.
years of biology.
No, you
I had
don't.
biology for 2 years. Yeah, I did it freshman and then sophomore. And then I got to choose between chemistry or anatomy.
I only had biology 1 year.
Lucky
Huh.
you.
Our teacher got in trouble because he went to a game in the city you live in and had one of the not dissected, but one of the freeze dried or whatever for dissection cats that he put on a noose and hung at the end of the stick for the other team's mascot for Southview.
Okay. I thought this was him going to be in trouble for skipping work, but no, that's
No,
much worse. Yeah, no, what
he
the
had to do
fuck, dude?
he had to do like a formal apology and
Like I
everything.
we're actively trying not to swear, and that one just came out because good God.
Yeah, it was one of those things that when it happened, as a kid, you're like, that's kind of funny. But then like,
No, I wouldn't have found that funny.
well, it was a different time. I am older than you, Tivis.
Only by a few years.
But in school, a few years is a lot.
Yeah.
Because I was in high school when you were in like what, junior high, elementary? I don't know.
I started high school in
Let's not make
2006.
us feel older than we are. You started high
Oh,
school in 2006?
yeah.
So I was out of high school by then.
Yeah, well, I know that you're older.
Yeah. Okay,
So
let's not
I
do
was
this.
probably in middle school.
I'm gonna have an existential crisis on my age. Let's watch these other old people first.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do know that some schools do that though. They do assign something for kids to do over the summer, and I
Mhm.
think that's just wrong. Let kids enjoy summer. It's like one
Is
of the
that like
few
a
joys.
new age thing that schools do?
I don't know.
Now
None of
there
my
are
schools did, but I did know some people who went to other ones that did. But they were all. It was always advanced courses that did it. Like they were in
I
advanced
have
lit or whatever.
I have no sympathy though for that kind of stuff because I made it a priority to do night classes and summer classes myself while I was in high school. Like I paid for them and all that crap just so that I could graduate early because I was bored of school. So I made it a priority to do summer school and all that stuff. So I had classes and work I was doing during the summertime. And I would go to school during the daytime and then come home, eat real quick, and then go back to another school at nighttime to take night classes to get all my extra credits and stuff in. So like when people say, "Oh, they gave us an assignment over the summer," I don't really. To me, I don't really see it as that big of a thing. As long as it's going towards your overall grade and GPA, of course, you
Oh
know.
yeah, you don't
But
just assign work for
there's
no reason. That'd
yeah,
be what's
yeah.
wrong with you?
There are like other countries though that have school year round, so it
I
doesn't
know
matter.
that's screwed up. Let kids enjoy stuff. You're only a kid so long. I wish I could have summer break again.
Those countries aren't raising kids, Tivis. They're raising
Mm,
worker bees.
yeah. Uh, yeah. Anyway, Grandpa then suggests, "Hey, uh, what if that report wasn't due in 6 months?" And Eddie immediately picks up on. He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah. Well, now that I think about it, it might be due Monday." And it's moments like this that makes Grandpa proud to be a grandpa.
Yeah. Did you
Uh,
say what Grandpa said when Eddie's like an excuse? And Grandpa's like, no excuse, a restructure of
mhm.
reality. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great line. Little restructuring. I'm going to use that.
Lie, not saying lie. Let the truth relax for a while. That's what he says too. That's another one I wrote down.
Instead of revisionist history, it's restructuring the truth. or alternate facts. Anyway, and Lily wheels out this cart that looks like ones you would see at a hotel, and it's full of cleaning supplies. Like,
Oh
she
yeah.
is clearly prepared to not just organize, but actual clean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and she's rolling it out on like a janitor cart too. Like it's
yeah.
like what house has this unless you hire like a maid service or something?
Their house is pretty big, so maybe she might have got it on discount and found use for it. My
Bro, their
grandpa had a
house
ton of
is
shit.
their house is big, but this thing is on wheels and it is huge. How is she getting it upstairs? And their house has like these random ups and down levels. Like you have
I
to
mean,
lift
she's
that
got a
cart up.
Herman. Just lift it up and carry it
He doesn't
up the
even want to
stairs.
do it. Anyways, let's move.
No, he doesn't, but she's got him. When you have a mobile like lift hydraulic lift living with you.
Take advantage.
Yeah.
I think that's just every wife with husbands.
I think didn't we see that in like season 1? She asked Herman to help. He lifted the couch so she could sweep under it.
Yeah.
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 Or that might have been in the original show even, which is weird.
It was in the original show too.
So she did maybe she was
No, I
collecting
think
for the dust.
yeah, it was weird because she would like clean, but then she would also dirty the. I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah.
so
So
Lily comes
she's
in with her
she's in
cart.
this pink outfit too, which is interesting.
It's purple.
Is it purple? It looked pink on my screen, but it's like her exact outfit that she wears and everything else, but it's just a different color. I feel like we haven't seen this one before.
Yeah. It's funny. She comes in with the cleaning stuff, and Herman like puts his hand up like this, like so she can't see him. I'm like, dude, you're standing right there. You're not hiding yourself. He's just like no eye contact.
Yeah, she wants this house so clean that Felix Unger will eat off the floor. And so I think I found who Felix is. Felix performed the first successful heart surgery in 1986. If this is the same Felix Unger, which is the only one I found, so
Okay.
but it's in
Sounds
that
good.
time frame. Yeah.
Right.
She begins assigning tasks, starting with Eddie. He's like, actually, I have to go to the library to dissect a lobster.
A lobster.
Grandpa is perplexed with why he would go with this excuse. But after some convincing and meandering into the lie, which is, I didn't write down the whole thing, he convinces her.
You're gonna go to the library to dissect a lobster. Well, yeah, Mom, they got the tanks set up in the basement of the library. What?
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing though. When you hear this kind of lie, you know, at least I would feel good as a parent because my kids don't know how to lie. That's how I would feel. Like you're not saying anything that's coherent. It makes absolutely no sense. The kids will say stuff around here too. I'm just like, what you're saying makes absolutely no sense. Like maybe think about it before it comes out of your mouth. Like,
Yeah,
don't
that's right.
just go off the cuff. This isn't
Improv.
Improv. Yeah, it's not an improv class. Like, think about it a minute.
Yeah, and they really lean into the whole, over explaining the lie as well in
Yeah.
this episode, which is
Oh yeah.
great. You gotta stick to the kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. The more info you give, the more holes you give room for people to poke.
Yeah.
Why am I giving a course on lying?
You're like, Mom, I got to go to the library. We're meeting up. We have a book report that we got to do. Me and some friends are meeting up there.
Yeah.
Done. There you go.
That's all you gotta say.
That's what you gotta say. And let's get into the next lie.
Yeah, she turns into Marilyn. You can start by scraping the vulture droppings off the bird bath.
She turns to Marilyn. She doesn't turn into Marilyn.
Well, that's what I meant. She turns to. I thought I said that.
You said into.
Oh.
And with the Munsters, you got to be very careful. Semantics
That's fair.
and everything.
That is fair. Yeah. So Marilyn tries to get out of it by saying, I have a sick friend. Oh, yeah? Which friend? Jenny. Totally convincing when she says this. She suffers from chronic depression, and she's only worn black since Elvis died. And Grandpa's looking at her like, what?
Are you crazy?
That's what you're going with?
Right.
Marilyn continues, the doctors want to put her in the funny farm. And Lily's like, all right, yes, no, you should be with your friend. Never let anyone say Lily Munster stands in the way of mental health. And I'm like, that is an amazing line, especially for the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. It got me. Yeah, I was like, oh, cool. It took me off guard, I should say. It didn't get me. It didn't bring me to tears, but yeah, it took me off guard for a second. I was like, oh yeah. Okay.
Like that is awesome, especially since like people didn't start treating mental health with any actual seriousness until probably the 2010s, I want to say.
I was gonna say like what, 5 years ago?
Yeah, well, pretty much.
But that also a lot of people try and use it as an excuse too. So,
well, yeah, but if you need to talk to somebody, talk to them, whether it's paid professional, friend, whatever. Just talk. It really does
professionals, help. Cameo.com/Myke Shrews.
That's only a one-way
conversation.
Yeah.
If I do have it set up on there though, as like giving some advice and stuff. So you know, you never know. Can. We'll see what type of advice I can give.
Run.
I won't be like some people though who like I saw during pandemic stuff would do the like little cameo thing, but then take it into the whole like COVID this, COVID that, or like, got into the whole, what is it called, vaccine stuff and all that stuff. Like I saw some of those and I was just like, wow, dude, it's kind of messed up that you're bringing your personal or political views into these cameos that people paid like, and for those guys there was like hundreds of dollars that people were paying for them. So it's like, man, that's messed up. Anyways,
how do we know they didn't pay for that and then complained about it?
Because it was every single one that he was doing at the time. I don't think so, man. Yeah. Not knowing how he was acting, this specific actor was acting like on Twitter and stuff like that during the time.
I was gonna say it's probably Kevin Smith.
No,
because that dude gets talking, he'll just talk, and you never know where he's gonna end up.
I'm not gonna say his name on here, but yeah. Anyways, now that Marilyn is out of there, we have Lily walking over to Herman, all sexy like with her toilet cleaning brush.
Yeah, and her father just sitting there.
But she goes like, hey, big stud, how would you like to? It was weird. It was weird, bro. It was weird.
It was. Hey, you want to scrub scum off the dungeon floor for me? It's like, oh, you know what? I popped a stitch playing handball at the gym yesterday. The company physician wouldn't let me lift anything. Couldn't even, or he wouldn't even let me put shoes on a client. Which is it normal for mortuaries to have a physician?
A physician? I mean, yeah. the I don't know. I'm thinking of a medical examiner, so no, probably not.
Yeah.
But maybe they have really good benefits there and they have an on-campus, doctor.
on camp. What is this? A mortuary for a college now?
It's like Google.
Yeah. So she sends him off to bed, but Grandpa's like, "Hey, I'm gonna help you with some new chiropractic techniques. Come with me to the lab."
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't. Okay, first of all, that's cool. You know some chiropractic techniques. Don't trust chiropractors, people. Like, I'm
He
serious. They know the same thing doctors do, and doctors know exactly what to do to the body.
he said it was like something that wasn't acupuncture, an acupuncture free chiropractic
Yeah,
treatment or something. That's what he says. Yeah.
yeah. It's just like they can
Also,
temporarily relieve pain. Doctors can actually help you get rid of it. I'm just saying that. I had my doctor pop my back into place years ago when I worked at Kroger. I threw it out lifting the turkeys during Thanksgiving, and I was in serious pain. I was actually scared I was having a heart attack. It hurt so bad, like in my chest.
yeah. I went to one of those like walk-in chiropractors that my wife was using before, and the whole time I'm just like, these people are gonna break my neck. I was like, don't even touch my neck. Like, don't do it.
No.
It didn't do anything. There was no relief or anything for me. I was like, I get more relief off of my wheels. I have these wheels I roll my back out on because I'm an old man.
Yeah, like, what they do is based in medical. I won't deny that. I'm just saying doctors are training the exact same way. They know more about the body. But anyway, enough of that bullshit. Um, so they're in the lab. While they're going down there, she's like, "Hey, thank you for being so helpful. Do you mind doing the floor in the lab?" And Grandpa's like, don't worry about it. I already did it.
Yeah.
It's so clean. If I wasn't a Dracula, I could see myself.
Well,
So they
so
go down to the lab.
as far as Grandpa or Herman's lie goes, all she had to do was actually just lift up his jacket and see if the stitches were ripped or not.
She could have, but she trusts him.
Yeah.
And we're about to get into why. Uh,
Yeah.
oh, they enter the lab, and of course, the lab is a mess, like messier than we've ever seen it before. Papers
It's
everywhere.
just papers. Yeah. It's a lot of, yeah. I don't
And
know, man.
the
It's
whole
weird to see the lab like that because it was just like they were trying to make the point that the lab was dirty by
mhm.
using papers.
And
That
Herman's still like, "Ugh," and Grandpa's like, "Stop faking it." He's like,
yeah.
"Okay." He's like, "I thought I did a good job. Lily believed me." Grandpa goes, "Lily believes uh, those are really Tammy Faye's real eyelashes." Now,
Yeah.
if you're like me who forgot Tammy Faye was since the Radish episode, she was a televangelist who died in 2007. Uh, he was talking about Herman's eyelashes too. So it turns out Lily doesn't lie, so she doesn't think anyone else does either, which is insane to me considering how many times she caught Grandpa lying.
Yeah. Well, it's also she has lied. We've seen her lie in the show.
That's true. Yes, we have.
So
Uh, yeah. He then insults Herman's lie. He's like, "Yeah, yours was terrible." Herman's like, "If you just brought me down here to insult me, I'm leaving." And Grandpa's like, "No, I brought you down here to insult you and have some cold ones while we watch the ball game on TV." I'm like, "Oh, Grandpa just wants some company. That's nice." But Herman has other plans. So Grandpa immediately turns back into the usual grouchy person we know, and is good luck getting
mhm.
out of here when she thinks you're hurt. And Lily calls down, you know. By the way, in this scene, what is going on with Leonard's chest? What is sitting on him?
Mm, there's paper on him.
It's like
You-
something sitting right in
On his
the where the
sternum.
diaphragm sits. Yeah.
It's supposed to be his sternum, but I don't want to say what it looks like.
Does it look like an item used during intercourse? because that's what I thought of.
Yes, it does a little bit, but I don't know what it
Oops, I
is,
just
if
punched
it's
the
supposed
microphone.
to,
Sorry, everyone.
if they, like, put paper on it or, like, colored the sternum. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it immediately drew my eye while this was going on. I'm like, what is that?
Or maybe it's supposed to be a tie,
Oh, could be. Could be.
'cause it's like a little white tie almost. That's what it looks like from a distance. 'Cause it does pop out, so maybe it's a tie, like, almost like a bone white tie.
All right. I will choose to believe that over the other thing that it looks like,
Yeah.
which makes Grandpa a very party animal down there. So yeah. Herman says back to Lily, Grandpa made him feel 100% better. She's like, well, good. Mr. Gateman called asking when you could return to work, so I'll just let him know now.
Yeah. Which, if he was supposed to go to work, then why was she trying to get him to do housework in the first place?
That's true. Yeah. Maybe he used that excuse to get out of work too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Herman's plans are totally ruined. Damn it. So Grandpa tells him,
Also,
watch a pro go to work here.
in this whole scene, Leonard is doing a lot of head movements, following them around and everything
Oh,
too.
yeah, he is.
So yet again, a part of the cast, not just a prop.
Mm-hmm.
Like it. I love it.
Yeah, so Grandpa's like, hey, watch a pro go to work. And he begins searching for the phone down there, eventually finding it.
Yeah.
Mr. Graves. This is he's doing an accent that is terrible, and I will not be attempting it. This is Dr. Goldchain. Herman's wife lied, and he can't work.
Yeah.
And yeah. Herman, he's like, how could I ever thank you? And Grandpa's like, wherever you're going, don't come back. So he's so salty that Herman's not willing to just sit down there and watch the ball game with him.
Yeah. Well, also, I think he, like, literally means, don't come back, because, he wants Herman gone.
Yeah, no, I got that. I'm just saying his whole attitude
He just
switched. He was just wanting someone to hang out with, and
Yeah.
Herman blew him off.
It's interesting too, like, I guess we'll get into it in a little bit here, actually.
Mhm.
So, yeah, then Herman takes off, and Grandpa
This is where we
then
get the oh, go ahead.
Oh, go
No,
on.
yeah, the phone ring. Yeah, the
Yeah,
phone rings.
phone rings. Grandpa answers it, and it's, Mr.
Do you remember how he answers it?
Graves. No.
Yeah, hello, Grandpa here. He's so annoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where Mr. Graves calls. And I'm like, oh my God, it's a second person from the Rob Zombie movie. They actually exist in these shows. What? Because I don't think they were even in the movies, were they? It was just Gateman.
It was always Mr.
Or,
Gateman.
yeah.
The only time that we saw them before, of course, the show here, which came out clearly before, was in the Rob Zombie film.
Yeah, all three of them together on screen.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, what does Mr. Gateman
look
want?
completely different in that than what they give us here.
Oh yeah, they do.
For any of these guys so far.
What did Gateman do?
Mr. Gateman is asking Grandpa to be like, hey, if my wife calls, you tell her that I am at what is the technical word that he used here? A power lunch with Herman. Yeah.
And I'll be tied up all afternoon. That's some shitty shit right there.
Which I'm kind of like, wait, is he kind of like Mr. Gateman, where he's just out with a floozy or something?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Does every boss of Herman's act like a sleaze?
Yes, they do.
So yeah. Grandpa's like, oh yeah, I'll be glad to cover for you.
To be fair, though, Mr. Gateman was not married.
No, he was divorced.
Yeah.
But he's still sleazed.
So maybe he was sleazy, but respectable. Maybe he got
No,
divorced
there's no
before he became a sleaze.
no. That's so
It's better than their neighbors who are just sleeping around on each other.
yeah, that's true. Yes. I wonder if those people even still live there.
No, she killed the husband and took off. She started the Firefly family. I told you.
So Lily comes up and confronts Grandpa over not cleaning at all. He's like, I need a break. I just finished this big experiment. I transplanted a lawyer's brain into a rat to see if the rat's morals would drop.
Well,
It
that's
did.
just a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great one though.
Yeah. And then
With the
go
rat's
on.
morals drop. Yeah, turns out they do.
Then the phone rings and Lily answers it this time, and it is Tivis.
Mrs. Graves.
Miss Graves.
Before that, though, did you get to what she would her whole rant about lying?
I did not write it down. No, I did not.
She's like, I would rather wear polyester than lie.
Yeah.
Just that's yeah, that's extreme.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
it's
Lily
Mrs.
answers the
Graves.
phone. Mrs. Graves is there, and she's about to like not cover for Mr. Graves at all.
Grandpa like jumps up to like, no, stop.
Yeah. And he tells her why, and she's like, I can't lie. I can't do. If you want your husband to have a freaking job, you
Yeah.
need to lie.
You want me to lie to Mrs. Graves? You want your husband to lose his job?
So then Lily tries to lie. I can't even, because she goes into a bunch of random shit.
And she tries to hand the phone off to Grandpa too. He's like, no. This is now you. She'll get suspicious if I talk to her.
Yeah.
He's like, what about heating the dungeon? Eddie's flea bass. Your disinfectant. Think of the family. And yeah. She starts to, oh my God. I didn't even write down all the insane
She starts to
stuff.
spiral into a convoluted, non. Yeah.
Sensical.
Yeah.
It got to the point where Mrs. Graves asked if she was drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Grandpa compliments her on the lie, which you were just giving her terrible faces for the entire phone call. Like, dude.
She passed. That's all that counts for Grandpa. That they believed her. You know.
Yeah. She can't believe she just did that. And Grandpa's only advice to her, have a bloodlight.
Bloodlight. Yeah. Come
What
on,
a supporting
Peter.
father.
Yeah. Just give your daughter alcohol, and that'll solve everything, right?
Yeah, is the bloodlight alcoholic?
I'm assuming so.
Mm.
I'm just gonna assume.
We play this game called the Red Dragon Inn, and it's a card based game where you play as different fantasy characters who are returning from an adventure with their found gold and stuff, and they're sitting down having drinks in a tavern, sometimes gambling with their money, just joking around, hurting each other accidentally with their abilities. And it's a really fun, addictive game. My wife and I really love to play it. And there is actually, they introduced a vampire character. And with that, there's a promo card called Bloodlight.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to get it. So We have it in our drink deck. It's great. Seriously, it's a fun game, people. If you're looking for something to just kill like 10, 15 minutes and have a blast, pick it up.
Yeah.
You only need 2 people to play it, so.
Well, that's not bad then. It's easy for couples and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now we get the commercial break.
Yeah, commercial break, and then we open with Eddie hanging the phone up because he's like, "Dang it, Mom, you just get off the phone." How's he assume his mom at home?
He must be trying to call while Lily's talking to Mrs. Game or Mrs.
Mr.
Graves.
Yeah, Miss Graves. Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because it's like these scenes then overlap, which we don't see too often.
No, especially in TV shows in general. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's about to go back to the game because he's at a baseball game, and Marilyn walks up. And he's like, "Crap, I gotta hide in here." And Marilyn does the same thing, tries to call, and is like, "Dang it, Aunt Lily, get off the phone." Why are they all trying to call home?
Yeah, I know. Well, I think because Marilyn said that she would call to let her know if she was going to stay out later. And I think Eddie said the same thing. The real question is the third person that walks up.
Which is?
So Marilyn tries to do the same. And these are like old school phone booths as well, like the kind Superman would hide in and change.
Like Bill and Ted would use for time travel. Yeah.
And so she does the same and hides in her booth. Herman walks up and he's trying to call. And Eddie like peeks out and sees his dad and is like, why?
They're all just hiding in it, like, just run. They're not paying attention. Just
he's
go.
the same issue. And then a fourth person walks up, spots Eddie, recognizes him immediately. Which makes me think that Mr. Graves, as we are just introduced to, has a stronger relationship with the family than
Mr. Gateman.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in this show too, they have talked about Mr. Graves more than Gateman, to be fair.
Yeah.
In the past. Yeah, so he spots Eddie and he says, "Eddie Munster." And then Marilyn's like, "Eddie." And then Herman's like, "Marilyn, Eddie." They all pop out.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Graves is like, "Herman Munster, I do declare." No.
Like, what are you doing here, you lying son of a...
Yeah.
He's like, you're setting a bad example, you jerk.
Which I question that. I'm like, what do you mean bad example? Like, he brought his niece and son to a baseball game. It's clearly the weekend too. So it's like they're not skipping school. What bad example is he setting?
Because he lied to their boss.
He doesn't know if the kids know that. Maybe he just took the day off to them.
I'm gonna stop right now. We're gonna take a pause, and I'm gonna say, piss off, dude. Any boss who gets mad with how anyone chooses to use their personal sick days away from their place of employment to relax, seek employment somewhere else. Seriously, they're nut job overbearing a-holes. Like, it shouldn't matter. You're taking a sick day. I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. I don't need to be sick.
Yes, you do. You always need to be sick.
Especially if they don't let you keep the money from them or roll them over to the next year. Doesn't matter what you do. Use them. There is no point in being suck up to these people. They don't care about you.
Or work for yourself. And then you can only yell at yourself and hate yourself.
Anyway, yeah, that's my little rant from this whole interaction. I'm like, screw you, dude. If he chooses to take a personal day, that's his choice. What he does with it.
It just, to me, even with the fact that Herman, you know, if you're going based on Herman lied to his bosses to get out of work, it's not setting a bad example by bringing his niece and nephew to a baseball game. If anything, that would be more of like, "Oh, you're more of a family man than I thought. You took time off from work. You needed the extra time to spend this time with your family because they need you," kinda thing.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's not the route we go because Herman makes it
no.
worse. I didn't bring them.
Yeah.
He-
Which, can I just
yeah.
say, point out too, in the end, the whole thing was these 3 wanted to go to the baseball game. Grandpa wanted someone to watch the baseball game with. They literally all coulda just went to the baseball game as a family thing for the day and been like, Lily, look, we'll clean the house tomorrow. Let's
Yeah.
enjoy the family time. There's a baseball game. It's in town. It's not expensive. We're gonna go to this, spend the family day at the baseball game. Problem solved. No episode." So
This whole story kind of puts Lily in a bad light. Like she's saying, "Screw everyone else. We're doing what I want to do." Even though, it's this thing that you can't just do any other day.
right. Well,
But
if you
yeah,
set regulations and rules and stuff, you wouldn't have to do it as all in one day. You could have it continuously going through. Anyways, that's a parenting thing anyway. Like, just get them
well,
kids
again,
chores to do. Jeez.
you can clean on the regular, but a deep clean, like how many times do you wash your walls and stuff?
I
Like we
make them
move all
scrub
of the furniture out of the room and sweep every inch of it.
I make
We do
them
that
scrub the
twice a year.
floorboards once every 2 months and the kitchen cabinets once every 2 months. I make them do it.
We do the
I
kitchen
don't do
cabinets
it.
once a week. Of course, we use our a pressure cooker, and that thing steam like shoots up.
Oh, yeah, steam right there, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so Herman turns on Marilyn. Hey, I thought you were helping your friend. She's like, oh yeah, I did a Dan Quayle impression, and she's all better now. And she tries to leave, but Herman's okay. What are you doing here at the championship baseball game? Well, Herman, it certainly couldn't be watching the game, but yeah, she's like, oh, it's cultural enrichment with my new boyfriend. And Eddie's like, no, you're a liar. And
You're
that she's
here
there
with
with the weird,
stitches.
yeah, the weird nerd. And she's like, his name is Maurice. I'm like, well, okay. And Mr. Graves, who's Stitches?
Yeah.
He's on the goalie, or he's the goalie for the hockey team at school. They call him Stitches because he's fond of catching the puck with his mouth. And Marilyn's like, he told me he got those scars because his mom was fighting in Vietnam while pregnant. Please don't do this to Marilyn's character. Please don't make her the kid from Married with Children.
Which
Like
one?
the daughter, the dimwit who believes
Oh,
literally
yeah.
anything anyone tells her. Like I literally watched an episode last week where he convinced her the theme song to Gilligan's Island was a historic piece that she could write a paper on.
Was that Bud explaining
Yes.
that to her? Yeah.
I'm just don't do this to Marilyn. She was a smart character, a smart girl. Don't make her the dumb blonde.
They already have compared to the original series.
Even compared to the first season.
Yeah.
But so that's when Marilyn turns on Eddie. He's like, "Oh yeah, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be writing a paper?" He's like, "Yeah, my partner could write 500 words a minute." Mr. Graves is, I'm not shocked by any of this. I'm gonna have to talk to my partners about you, Munster. Dude, why? What?
Mhm.
Again, overbearing boss, just straight up. And so this is a terrible day for Herman now. Not only is he almost an unemployment statistic, but if Lily finds out, they will be scrubbing the floors with toothbrushes for eternity. So Mr. Graves, now feeling a little sympathetic, is like, well, maybe Grandpa's helping. He was there when I called the house. And I was, why did you call the house?
He set himself up.
Yeah. He's like, you're lying like the rest of us, aren't you? You're a married man. And,
No, he
or
says,
he's like,
He
I'm a
said, "I'm a
married
married
man.
man. All I have is lying."
That and snack
No.
foods.
No, dude, no.
Herman offers him popcorn, to which he eats.
Married men out there, you do not have to lie.
No.
Just don't even make it a precedent in your, like, marriage.
No,
'Cause
no, no,
they all
no.
always find out. Always.
Yeah. Like,
Don't even
oh,
do it.
if you know, like, oh, if it's something you know will cause them unneeded stress, maybe best not to say anything.
Well, there's a difference between lying and withholding information.
Yeah,
There's, like,
doing it for their benefit, but if it's for your benefit, that's screwed up.
yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because you know, I got some stuff going on at work that uh, don't need to stress my wife with you know,
Right.
if anything comes of it, we'll cross that bridge when it happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I tend to do that even with my kids. I'm like, I'm not gonna give you this added stress of
Mhm.
whatever until it actually becomes to the point where I feel we need to have the discussion or it's
Yeah.
gonna be an issue or something like that. So yeah, definitely, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
But
even do
yeah,
that to
that's
my parents. Like I still won't tell my parents certain things unless it's something that's going to be more concrete. You know, I'm not
mhm.
going to put them through the emotions of it when there's no reason to. If you don't have, if it's still up in the air situations.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's massively different than just lying.
hmm
Like,
Well, lying is
don't do
them
that.
asking you something and you telling them that it's something completely different. That is a
Yeah,
lot.
no.
Like if they straight up ask you, "Hey, did you get fired today?" Yeah, yeah, I did. Don't be like, "Well, I didn't get fired, but."
So, I got a funny story about that.
Uh-oh.
I have a supervisor who works at another thing, and she says there's a guy who got hired and came out, and this is like physical labor, and they found out he has a catheter, and they're like, "No,
Okay.
you can't do this. We're like digging underground. It's good. You're a health hazard. Um, high risk for infections and stuff."
For a
As in
cat.
him, he's a problem. Yeah.
Why is it high risk though?
Because it's easy to get bacteria in there, and then he could become sick and
If
ill, and
he's
then it's
getting
on them.
bacteria in his pee hole where the tube is anyways, he's going to
Or
get bacteria.
not a catheter, where they drill a hole into your stomach and put a
Oh,
bag in.
colostomy bag?
Colostomy, yes.
Okay, I was about to say a catheter. I mean,
Yeah,
sure.
wrong word. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the colostomy bags. Yeah, I can see that a little bit more.
But
They have caps for those too now.
he gets dropped off every day still, and as soon as
Mhm.
he starts walking to the job site, and as soon as his ride disappears, he turns around and heads somewhere else. So he's clearly pretending to have a job.
I mean, wouldn't they know because
No
there's
money's
no
coming in?
money?
You'd think. She wonders if it's like a work release. Yeah. It's
Interesting.
just wild. But yeah. So yeah, getting
Interesting.
back to the show
Yeah.
though. So they're all returned to Monster Manor. Uh Herman tells them, all right, we got to stick to the game plan. Why is Mr. Graves there? Anyway, we're going to stick to your original story if she gets suspicious.
Well, I think Mr. Graves is there because he wants to make sure if his wife called that, everything was set up properly.
I, yeah, all right, I'll choose to believe that. I thought he was just there because he felt like part of the group now.
Because they paid him for the day, so he had to be there.
Or he just wanted to see how it would play out. Who knows? So
Yeah.
as soon as they walk in, Lily asks Eddie about his report. Eddie says, it went great. She's like, oh, really? I called the library and they were closed today. I worked at the donut shop. For your report on
Oh my
dissecting lobsters?
I wanna
Yeah, there was a seafood shop next door. I forget what the hell he says.
I wanna
But
play the audio for this whole thing, but it's so much that I think we'll get flagged, so I'm just not even
oh my
gonna.
god, yeah. He launches into this wild story about a fat dude with a gun coming in and distracting him and asking for all the donuts.
Because he's gotta be fat because it's a donut place.
Yeah. And Grandpa, thinking fast, tries to help by saying, oh yeah, you know how much they've gone up in price.
This is
So
just such a stupid thing to say. It's like, "Oh, yeah, the fat man came in, he had a gun, and he was just holding up the whole place,
it
so I
comes back
didn't get my
around.
assignment done." And it does come back around multiple times.
Lily cuts him off and turns to Marilyn, who is trying to leave to the kitchen. She's,
Yeah,
hey, I called your friend's house who I personally didn't believe was a real person by the way she was telling Lily.
yeah,
So good for her at least.
right.
And they're on vacation in Hawaii. And Eddie's like, oh, that's because she's been with me. And
The whole
Marilyn's like,
time.
yeah, it's oh yeah. That guy with the gun was a dude named Jeremy, who's who's the schizophrenic brother of Jenny.
Yeah.
And
Grandpa's like,
Grandpa,
"Oh, nice. You schizophrenic and a manic all
yeah,
together in one family. Good choice."
yeah. So and so on her way back home, she saw Jeremy getting arrested, and since Eddie was a witness, they had to go down to the police station. And that's where Herman tries to leave, and she turns on him.
Yeah, and she's like,
I,
I called and the is it the security guard or the janitor? I
security
forget.
guard.
Security guard said that you weren't in today. And Herman's like, well, you can't believe him. He
he
has a room temperature IQ.
he laughs so
He does. He laughs so hard.
when you look into his eyes, all you see is bunnies and antelopes hopping along. And that's when Mr. Graves jumps in. Why even say anything at all, dude? So
Yeah.
he's like, oh, yeah, I had to leave the parlor to put in bail for Jeremy. I'm like, you know who Jeremy is? He's like, oh, yeah, he's a close family friend. Or we're close with the family. I mean, he's been burying them for years. Crazy.
Stop talking.
Yeah, he offered the kids a ride home when 50 fat guys, all brandishing guns, came into the station. And that's where Harriman came in. Lucky for all of them, he was on the phone with Herman, who took the company hearse around every donut shop in town. Three
He gets
coffins full of them.
he gets into it too. It's like 50 fat guys just show up brandishing gats and it's like what?
Yeah, he dumped all the donuts in the lobby, and the fat people went down on him, and the police disarmed them.
Yep. And what did Eddie
Lily's
say?
like,
Eddie's like, yeah, it was like Roseanne Barr rampaging through Hojo's all you can eat bar.
I forgot about that. As a fat guy myself, I laugh at these jokes, so you were able to. But yeah, Lily's like, that's so unbelievable. She's so glad she stayed home and cleaned. And her only contact with the outside world has been by telephone. And she looks right at Mr. Graves, and some horror sound effect plays.
Dun dun dun.
That was a great touch. I loved that sound effect they threw in.
Yeah.
Graves, my wife didn't happen to call, did she? Why, yes. Yes,
Oh
she
yeah, she
did.
did.
Did you happen to tell her I was here? Yeah. Yeah, I lied for the first time in my life to protect my husband's job. And Mr. Graves, "Oh, I would never fire Herman." And Herman's like, "See, you didn't have to lie."
I'd have Mr.
No,
Gateman do it.
yeah, I would have had my partner do it. Which is, and Herman looks at him like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Yeah, he's like, I'd have
I've
Gateman do it. It's just like, what?
yeah,
Oh,
he's like, "Your wife would like you to bring home some pork chops," and he's like, "Pork chops, right? Yes," and he leaves like super fast. And she's
mhm.
like, "Oh, also that foul ball she caught you or saw you catch on TV." He's, "See what now? She saw me." He's like, "Oh, great! Now I'm gonna have to go to the opera next weekend. I hate operas." And as he's walking out the door, "If I see one more 300-pound Viking in a brass brassiere," they go heavy on fat people in this episode.
They do a little more body shaming stuff the last few episodes, I will say. It's
Yeah, so
usually based on like weight.
I
It
feel
was
like we are definitely feeling the transition to new producers.
yeah. And you can also tell the transition into the 90s too, where we did more there were a lot more fat jokes
Crass
and
humor.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
not
So
like you don't have your Don Rickles humor or anything like that. So
yeah. So she then turns on the whole family about lying, and she's like, "I accept your apologies, and now for your punishment." And she have them a list of chores for them to do. Herman accepts his fate and asks first. He's like, "When did you first suspect that we weren't being truthful?" And she turns to look at Grandpa.
and they're like,
Grandpa,
Grandpa, you told on us? And he's like, what was I supposed to do? Lie?
yeah, dude.
Good for you,
I guess
Grandpa.
that's good. You can't lie to your daughter that much. That's a good it's a good
Yeah.
trait, I guess.
What
And
the
then we get
hell is Marilyn wearing in this last scene?
that's a good question. I don't even remember.
Let me see if I can grab a screen grab here.
Yeah, I
Actually,
know
let
the
me just present it here.
okay.
Share
Yeah.
screen window.
We got the three of them lined up with
The hell is she
toothbrushes.
wearing? I don't know what she's wearing.
Is that a garter?
It looks like a garter belt, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With like pants and then a shirt with like fabric like under her boobs. But and then there's something on her arms. Oh, those are gloves on her arms, cleaning gloves. That's what those are.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know what
Herman's
the
wearing a
rest of
blue
this
shirt.
is. Herman's got cleaning
And
gloves on too here. I don't
Eddie's
know what the
in
rest of their
orange.
outfit is though.
Wow, they are a colorful assortment in this scene.
Aren't they? It's a very, very yeah, colorful, we'll say.
Yeah.
I think they were scrubbing the
Yeah. Their punishment is they have to go clean the moat.
that's what they are wearing. Okay.
Yep.
I still
With
don't
toothbrushes.
understand what that blue like garter belt looking thing is supposed to be though.
That is yeah. Was that fashionable in the late 80s, early 90s?
Because they're wearing the pants right now. All three of them are wearing the pants for the water, the
Yeah.
like the Fisher pants and stuff. Herman
I
definitely.
wonder if they didn't have pants in her size and they didn't want to put her in suspenders, so they used that instead.
That's what that is. It is. It's those big pants. The pants are up towards her chest as well, and the garter belt's there to hold it to on.
Mm.
Okay, that makes more sense. People, if for real, like definitely check this out. Maybe I'll use this image as like the main image for the thing. You'll know by now. But if not, definitely swing on over to youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. Tune in towards the end of this show here to check out this image because it's interesting. I was confused. But yeah, now that we're looking at it a little bit more, yeah, she's wearing like the Fisher pants or whatever the heck they're called. I don't know the exact name. But then she has like
Yeah.
a teal garter belt around her waist holding them up, or so they're actually on.
Yeah. The quality that we're working with here makes picking out tiny details like this a bit difficult. Again,
Yeah,
Universal, for the love of God, give
give us
us a
something.
remastered version of this show,
Yeah.
an upscaled version.
Why does Eddie have on? He's got the brown with the yellow with the yellow with the yellow gloves, and it's annoying.
That looks
It's
orange to
like
me.
orange, whatever. Yeah, orange. Sorry, orange and yellow, orange, yellow, brown. He looks like a turd.
Well,
It
I mean,
just
in this episode, he was a little terse.
all right.
Yeah, so sure, their punishment is that all three of them have to clean the moat with toothbrushes. And
Mm-hmm.
Herman demands to know why Grandpa isn't being punished. He's the biggest liar of them all, after all. And
Well,
she's like, he
Grandpa's
made an
doing his own
offer.
punishment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he made an offer she couldn't refuse, which had to be part of the deal of tattling on them too. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
as Grandpa rushes in with his cloak on, and I feel like we haven't seen him with his cloak in a while.
Did he wear it to the date night when he took his ex-wife out,
He
or
may
his
have, but
current
he was
wife
sitting
technically?
down, so it wasn't as prominent.
Ooh, ooh.
What's up?
Okay. I was gonna say in this one right here, you can actually see her her clothes outfit better
Oh yeah, yeah.
in
There it
this
is,
shot
pulled
here.
all the way up,
Yeah.
all halfway up her chest.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. Yeah. She goes, "How was Liars Anonymous meeting?" He's like, "Terrible. He had to stand up in front of 30 people and say, 'My name is Charles and I'm a liar.'" She's
But your name isn't Charles. It's Vladimir. I know, but you can't cure a case like mine overnight.
freeze frame on Lily smirking while the other three are miserable.
And can I say, maybe in the OG series when he said he was Sam Dracula, he was just
He was
lying.
lying.
Maybe it was like he needed to give a fake new name for the new country after leaving the old country. So he's just like, yeah, Sam.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
he read the book.
I could choose to believe that. Yeah.
He was like, Sam, I am. That's a good book. Let me do that. Sam, I am.
Yeah. So now we're on the final thoughts.
Do you want to go
Myke,
first or you want me to?
you told me you there was so much in this episode you couldn't write it all down. So I want to hear your thoughts.
There's so much in this episode because I wanted to write down every single story lie.
I did too, but it's
And
just yeah.
I encompassed it in my freaking in my synopsis when I said it felt like a drunken DM was just going wild on the stories. Like, and for people that don't know, it's the DM is like the dungeon master for like D&D type stuff. So
Mhm.
I really tossed that in there for you. I've been tossing side quests into the things, so I figured why
Side
not?
quests.
Hey, you haven't noticed that? Herman's side quest of the week? I put it in there like 2 times. This is the 3rd time I've put side quests in there.
All right. Yeah, I'm starting to notice that pattern.
But yeah, it was just so much, so much to like try and write down and like remember, like because the stories get so convoluted and absurd that it's like watching an old WWE spot and they just go with whatever the heck it comes to their mind. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's horrible. Why are you dissecting a lobster? Is he eating it? Like that we all dissect lobsters technically when we eat them. So
Oh yeah, I had to do that for a lot of customers at Kroger.
you like the ones that are in the machine still?
No, they were already gone. Thankfully,
Okay.
wild. It was
Yeah.
gross having to clean them out though.
But like getting away from like the absurdity to their stories and stuff. Like I do think that it is a good story, I guess, for families, even though it's hidden behind a lot of humor for sure.
Mhm.
100% for sure. Um, you know, there's 50 fat guys with guns to this. Just, I can't even. I'm just picturing Chris Farley with like
That's what I
50 of
was
Chris
thinking.
Farleys.
Living in a van down by the river.
Yes. But yeah, so like there is a lot of substance to this episode. It's just hidden behind a lot of absurdity and
Mhm.
jokes for sure. Like it's basically telling you maybe don't lie so much, you
Yeah.
know? But it's also telling like in Lily's case, it's kind of like maybe you should understand what lies are, you know?
Yeah.
Be be a little more cognitive of the fact that this does go on in the world. Um, things like that, you know. And it's not even just within families. It's within everything. Watch the news once in a while. They're all lying to you. So I don't know where to go with it. How about you go, dude? You
Yeah.
tell me what your thoughts are.
I, it's this episode. It's definitely got some kind of moral compass in it, where they're like, eventually your lies are going to come back and bite you, and
Mhm.
it's true. They always do, no matter how small they are. Don't lie to people, um, for your benefit. Uh,
On your deathbed, just think about this, people. On your deathbed, do you want to have a list of lies still running through your head that are eating at you? You
or do
know,
you want to come clean and leave your family with that shock?
be like, so I actually have another family in another country.
You're not my kid.
Those weren't business trips. Those were trips to see my real family.
Yeah,
You guys get
I,
nothing. I left it all to them.
this was it's not so much a deep conversation piece like many of the episodes we've been talking about have been, but
I mean,
like
it's a
considering,
basic.
this is a family show and there are kids watching it,
Mhm.
it is a nice kind of moral story for them, even if they exaggerated a lot for the comedy.
Right. It's a very hyperbolic take on lying is bad for
Mhm.
sure. And I mean, we could go into a completely deep conversation about lying and morals and stuff. And I know Tivis loves ethics and morals, but uh, that was me being facetious, people. Um, but yeah, there's just really, I mean, everybody knows lying is not a good thing, especially
Mhm.
if you're in relationships. Lying is it never works out for you,
No.
and if you have kids, lying is never a good trait for them to grow up with, because if they're gonna lie to you, who else are they gonna lie to? What type
Yeah.
of trouble will they get into eventually because of it? So yeah, I don't really want to dive too deep into it because it's a basic
It's a very
structure.
surface level point to
Yeah,
the story.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a fun one though. I really did enjoy all of them trying to get out of helping out, because I mean cleaning sucks, but you got to do it. But again, Lily should be more understanding of the stuff going on that are once, you can only do it once. Like, sure, they
Yeah.
might have more championship games there. It's not going to be this game,
Was
you
it a
know.
championship game?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the local
Oh yeah,
team for the
yeah,
championship.
yeah, Eddie said it at the beginning. That's right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so,
and
like,
she
especially
should
with
know her
something.
son loves baseball.
Yeah, yeah. With something like that, it's kinda like th it's not necessarily on Lily, though, because none of them opened their mouths about going to the baseball game.
Yeah, they didn't even try to explain it to her. That's another thing. I guess
Yeah,
there is like have conversations.
yeah. And
Like
Marilyn didn't even say anything about wanting to go to the game ever. She just showed up at it.
and grandpa wanted to watch the game with Herman.
Yeah, he wanted to spend some quality time with his son-in-law, which, come on, Herman, you're kind of a dick. You could have invited grandpa to the game with you. You knew he wanted to watch the game.
Unless he only
Like,
had one ticket.
L Marilyn got into the game and Eddie got into the game.
Eddie was gifted a ticket. We never find out how we can guess Marilyn's boyfriend bought the tickets, but Herman we never find out other than if he just got it himself.
He could just showed up and got the ticket. Because even Herman really didn't say anything about going to the baseball game. He just shows up too.
Yeah, he says I had plans for today.
Yeah. Maybe you should have thought about your father-in-law. Maybe you should have thought about your wife, dude. You know,
Yeah. They could
she
have done
might,
this as a family.
yeah, she might hate it, but at least you're doing it together. I do
Yeah.
lots of things with my wife that I don't like doing, but at least we're doing
I
them
guess
together.
I guess the deeper conversation we can have is one that we've said repeatedly. Talk, communication. It's key to
Communication.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel that the communication is the thing that's been, it goes throughout everything. Like,
Oh yeah.
you're literally watching a show. It's communicating to you. Communication is everywhere. You just you it's a good thing to have. We see what happens in the world when communication is lost. You know, everyone
Yeah.
goes freaking crazy.
Yeah, I enjoyed this one. This is a fun one. This was good. I
Yeah.
love the wild stories they came up with. I love the fact that Herman's boss is getting involved for no apparent reason. I love the fact that we got another one of his bosses.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say, I like the fact that we have, like, an actual visual representation of Mr. Graves in this show too,
So we
now.
just need Goodberry to complete the set.
Mhm.
It is inevitable.
I am an inevitable.
Uh, Thanos. Uh, yeah.
Thanos.
I don't think
Thanos.
I don't have anything more to
Thanos.
say on the episode itself. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. What light just went out in my room?
It's been happening a few times now.
I don't understand what light it is.
Is it from a
Interesting.
window? Is there traffic going by?
No, I live in a cul-de-sac, dude.
I, I've driven in circles in a cul-de-sac just to mess with people.
I will shoot people. No.
Well, you are in Florida, so it makes sense.
We have open carry laws here.
You have the loosest carry laws there.
Yeah, we do. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Actually, I think there's a gun show today.
that doesn't
Speaking
shock
of,
me.
we have one almost every month in town. Or two sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, like you said, like, there's not a whole lot really to dive in on with it because it's basics. It's you don't lie. Don't,
Mhm.
and communicate. Don't lie, communicate. That's
Mhm.
it. It kind of goes hand in hand with each other. And the fact that they didn't dive into the aspect of them not communicating kind of sucks because
Yeah.
that I feel is the bigger part of this episode is there's no communication between these people besides them working so hard on trying to lie to get what they want. They're all being very um selfish. Every single one of the people in this episode is being selfish, except for Grandpa. to be honest.
Yeah, he gains nothing from this other than he just enjoys it.
Yeah. Grandpa doesn't, he's not being selfish with anything. He's like him helping Herman go down to the lab was more so like he could spend some quality time with his son-in-law. That's not a selfish thing, I don't think. And then
No,
like
that was actually kind of sweet.
yeah, and then he stays home, the
He
only
doesn't
thing
help at all, but he's there.
he's trying to help them get out of cleaning so that they can do what they want to do. So in in terms of like the least selfish person within this episode, it is Grandpa. Like he's the only one helping everybody get what they want,
Except Lily,
including
because he's not cleaning.
he's not cleaning, but he also helps Lily get the information she wants.
That's true, yeah.
So yeah, Grandpa's the best human being in this episode.
Best Dracula.
best best character within this episode, the least selfish character, which is interesting for Grandpa, you know. All right. What are we talking about next week? Or do you have any other words on the episode before we do
No,
that?
I think we've said all we can.
Okay.
Next week.
Next time on the Munster Cast, join us for Munstergeist. Now this could be so many different things, bro.
Yeah.
What do you
when
think?
did Poltergeist come out?
In the 80s.
Sorry about that.
The original one came out in the 80s.
In the 80s? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess Boris is back to mess with them.
Boris. You think? I don't think he'll come back.
I don't think so either, but it's just convenient because he's invisible.
So this could be like Munstergeist, like a poltergeist, or Munstergeist, like Zeitgeist. So
I'm going to go the Poltergeist route. They get a ghost. An unwanted guest that Grandpa invites in and they can't get rid of and can't see.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
this is a tough one.
Ghost is probably like the best option to go with because of the Munsters and everything. Maybe
I swear to God, dude, if we watch this and it's actually Boris coming to visit, I'm going to lose my mind.
What if it's an episode where somebody is like Scooby-Dooing them, pretending to there's a ghost haunting them,
trying to get them off the property again.
right?
We haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah, try to get the Munsters off the property. Maybe they need the Munsters to vacate so they can demolish the house. Maybe they need the Munsters to vacate so that they can dig a secret tunnel to get into a bank. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I'm thinking of way too many 80s storylines.
Maybe ghosts of Maryland's past.
All of the spirits of the men from Maryland.
Howie's back. God, I wish.
Maybe we'll get in that dang arm from under the table again.
Oh, yeah, an explanation for that. That would be interesting.
Yeah. We're never going to get an explanation.
No, we're not.
All right, guys. Well, I guess that's it, right? Is that all we got?
Yeah.
Look at that. We did it, guys. Tivis, my man, I appreciate you. Thank you for doing this.
I appreciate you.
Thank you guys out there, the audience, too, for dealing with our little bit of crazy. Today we went on a lot of tangents.
We did, but this episode presented a lot of opportunity.
Yeah. If you guys are out there and you're in your 30s and your wives are trying to get everyone to clean the house, just remember, find the baseball game to go to. Uh, no, just clean the house real quick, dude. It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long at all, especially
No.
if you know how to clean. Like
And
I
if
can,
you keep up on it.
yeah, keep up on it. Knock a few kids out and let them clean. Don't knock kids out. Like have a few kids. I meant. I guess I have to say these things because that could be a soundbite later on. I go run for office and be like, "Remember when you said knock kids out?"
Sometimes they're in the way and you just gotta just judo chop.
Yeah. And yeah, we appreciate all you guys still. Thank you very
Venusi and
much.
Aikido.
Thank you very much for dealing with us and stuff. I know we're like a week early or so, but I want to give everyone a heads up, 2 weeks heads up, whatever. That we will be taking another week off, Father's Day week. We won't be
Mhm.
releasing an episode that week as well, guys. But we'll remind you guys next week too, as well. So,
Yeah.
definitely, Tivis, any final words?
I hope everyone had a good Memorial Day in the States. We forgot to mention it last week, but yeah, I
Hmm?
hope you enjoyed it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much, and we will catch y'all next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
The lesson I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly